Hey guys, this is just a video that I've been wanting to make for a bit because I had just a big recent influx of people following me on this account, and I decided that it'd be fun to just make some kind of like introductory talking thing. And if you guys like it enough, maybe in the future I'll make more because these are nice and easy to do, and I don't post on YouTube as often as I post everywhere else, so I figured it'd be something nice for me to do. Just like a little introductory thing. My name is Daryl. I am an artist and an animator, and I also make comics, and I like to write, and I do some voice acting stuff, though that's mainly in the form of me recording my tabletop game with my friends, but we will get to that in a little bit. I mainly like to draw fan art, but however I'm one lean towards more like original stuff, and I like horror. I like horror a lot, and I hope to do more things with that. I have a couple of projects that are in the work, some that I am currently have out that you can go read or listen to, and then some that are in the writing stages of things. I also have a couple of fan projects that I have done or in the middle of working on that are not just like fan animations or whatnot. I'm not really going to promote those because I don't want my videos to be centered around those projects. But if you follow me on other social medias, you might see me referencing or posting updates for said projects. Anyway, I would rather instead talk about the stuff that I have that is currently out, or the stuff that I'm in the process of working on. So if you like to stick around on my channel and wait for updates about these things, you could go ahead and do that if you want to. So the first one that I have is a comic called The Shepherd of Oblivion. It has been around for about almost a year now. It's currently in the middle of its second chapter, and it's about this girl named Susie Wilds who has moved to a town called Oblivion, and she meets the town's shepherd. And shepherds are magical warriors who herd sheep and grow food, and they also fight gigantic monsters. And Susie decides that she wants to become a shepherd, and that this shepherd, Maribel, has to train her to become one. And Maribel goes, no. So the story is about Susie wanting to be a shepherd and trying to convince Oblivion's only shepherd that yes, she has to train her, because that's what she wants. And it's just like a nice little slice of life, light-hearted story about just a kid trying to get what she wants, follow your dreams and all that. And it's one that I update once a week on Mondays on Tumblr, and then every couple Fridays I'll upload those pages onto Tapas. So you could either read it on Tapas or on Tumblr, and I'll leave a link below to both places where you could read it if you want to. The next project I have, which is one that is on here. Okay, I'll fix that. The next project I have, which is one that is actually on YouTube that you might see me post once in a while if you are over 18, is a tabletop RPG game that I record with my friends called Revelations Nevada. And if you're new to Revelations Nevada, it is about a group of hunters who meet up at a bar in the small town of Rhodesway, Nevada, who fight a monster and are told by a being who claims to be an eldritch god that they have to fight what is essentially the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It's very loosey-goosey based off of like the old story of like the four horsemen and the Antichrist and all that. And it's just a game that me and my friends had decided to record, and we have a lot of fun with it, even though at the moment I'm really slow with editing episodes and putting them up. But I hopefully will have one up soon for you guys, unless it's out before I get this video edited. It depends. But yeah, no, so that's a thing. And that's kind of like where voice acting wise, that's like where most of that for myself goes towards. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I know a lot of people like it, so hopefully you'll go check it out. Now the other two stuff that I'm currently working on are not out yet, or rather, one is definitely going to be coming out. The other one is kind of like in its still like process of being worked on when it comes to like story-wise, like me figuring out the direction I want to go, and stuff. So let me talk about the first one first, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you who have followed me because of that video I had posted recently, the one that uses Hell's Coming With Me by Poor Man's Poison, that everybody keeps asking like, what's the story? What's the story? What's the story? I like being very vague about stories that I don't have stuff posted about yet, because that's the point of like, if I tell you like, this is exactly what's happening with everything that I talk about, I just kicked my trash can, then like, what's the point of me writing the story in the first place if I'm just gonna give spoilers for everything, which is why I'm so vague and stuff about it. But here's the thing, I have a story called In Harmony, which is going to be a queer horror story about college students in a small town who fight monsters. It's centered around this one character named Pacific Cervec, who has decided to move back to their hometown and reconnect with their old friends, meet some of their old friends' new friends, and go to school specifically for creative writing because Pacific is a poet and wants to get better at writing and be more confident in their skills as a writer. And they find out that their friends have discovered a new hobby, which is going out in the woods or into some of the more rundown parts of town and finding monsters, and gets all tangled up in that while trying to balance that with their goals for their future, and also just like relationships, and also with like the fact that one of their friends ends up dragging them into joining their band, and trying to balance this all up while still figuring out like who they themselves are as a person. And it's a story I'm very excited to start working on. I'm actually finally in the process of like scripting it so I can start working on pages, and I'm very excited for that. But I will be like announcing stuff about it when I finally start working on it. Until then though, hopefully, you know, you're interested and you want to stick around. But yes, that's where that Hell's Coming With Me video is. So you don't have to keep asking. The answer is in this video, so please stop asking me. So then the last one, this one is a project that I'm very just kind of like, I'm in the middle of thinking about it and like working on like where I want it to go, and at this point I think I am going to do it, but don't like ask me when it's coming out because I have no idea. I don't have an answer for you. I'm not even in the process of writing this yet. This is still more of like a brainstorming portion of it. And if you want like a reference to like how long this could take me, I got this idea like maybe 2 months ago, and when I got the idea for In Harmony, it took me like 1.5 years before I was like, now I can start writing this, simply because of just how long that took me for that. And also just podcast production stuff, it takes forever. And I've never produced a podcast before other than my tabletop game stuff, but that's not even on Spotify, it's only on YouTube. But so this project is gonna be called, the current name for it is Firefly Cemetery, and before you ask, no, it's not based off of Grave of the Fireflies, and no, I have not watched that movie. I know people are going to make references for it. Yes, I know, I get it. It has nothing to do with that movie. I've never seen it. But what Firefly Cemetery is about, it's about this historian named Emily Grimm who has decided to join an expedition to cross over to this area of a modern alternate universe United States in a world that had ended in a supernatural cataclysm. And they have decided to join in on this expedition to explore the area of the US called Firefly Cemetery. And it's basically a story about like what you leave behind for people to remember you by. It's based a lot off of fairy tales and public domain novels, so that's going to be like really interesting to interconnect all of that together. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. and the more I think about it, the more into it I get. So like at this point, I'm like, I would love to work on this, but like when that's going to happen is I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have much else to say because I just really don't. I might do some more stuff like this in the future, but I don't really have any big ideas yet of like what else I could talk about. I mean, unless people want like story times or things, or like me ranting about opinions and stuff, because oh boy do I have opinions. But yeah, so I'll link social media stuff below because that's like where I give most of my announcements on. I'm very active on Tumblr and Twitter. And yeah, pretty much that. So yeah, I hope this answers some questions at least about that one video, because that video I never expected to blow up, but here we are. So yeah, goodbye.